Welcome back to World Your Oysta. I am thrilled about today's guest, Tanne Snowden, the founder of one of my favorite brands, Tronque. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with all of their products. Some of my favorites are the vitamin C oil, the firming body butter, and of course, their dry brush and the body gua sha, which I know I've talked to you guys about like 5,000 times at this point. I never thought in a million years that I would be adding new rituals and routines to all of the things that I do. But once I got my hands on these products, I have to say, I started to see immediate results, which is why I made this a non-negotiable for me. Tanne is not just an incredible person, but she's also a wonderful founder. And she started this brand after a deeply personal journey with her reproductive health. After she had some issues with endometriosis, she decided to start looking into the different endocrine disruptors that disrupt what we have going on in our body. And that's where she started this beautiful brand of hers. So everything that she puts out there into the world is incredibly clean and works very well. I am super excited to have her on the show today to tell us all about how she started this brand, but to also really dive deep into how we can use these beautiful products on our bodies. So without further ado, let's welcome Tanne. Tanne, welcome to World Your Oysta.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I am thrilled to have you. It has been so fun getting to know you through your beautiful products that have they've been game changer for me. If you would have told me a year and a half ago that I would be dry brushing and body gua shaing every day, I would have told you absolutely not, because I just could not add one more thing to my routine. But when something really is transformational and you see the results, it's very easy to add this. It's another 3 to 5 minutes to the process. But it's just for me has really changed. I've been insecure about my legs for my entire life because I've always kind of had more of a juicy booty. And that came with stretch marks and a little bit of cellulite at an early age. And for me, going to the beach was always the worst thing ever. And, I kind of just had succumbed to it. I'm I'm going to have these stretch marks forever. I'm going to be this way forever. It doesn't matter how much I work out. So I kind of stopped. I used to buy every single type of firming cream, the ones that sting, the one that don't sting, every single oil. And then we got introduced and I started using your products. And within 6 weeks, I felt that dramatically, the stretch marks were gone dramatically.
Yeah. And
then via the dry brushing and the body contouring, the cellulite is gone. So job well done. I don't know if that's what the mission of your products were from the jump, but these tools really are revolutionary. So I'm excited to have you on to really explain why we should be dry brushing, body gua shaing, and I think the third thing that's most important to you is really formulation, right? And what's going in our body because of the experience that you had. So just let's jump off with why dry brushing and why was that the first tool that you came out with?
Yeah, well, thank you. And I'm exactly the same. That was the reason why I created it, because all these problems that we just wanted to have a solution for. But yeah, our dry brush was one of the first tools that we created after a lot of our formulas and more product-based, the Tronque body products. So for the dry brush, it's very different than your typical dry brush. Most dry brushes, no one really looks forward to using. It's kind of catching some dust on the side of your bathroom cabinet. When you use it, your skin gets really red and scratchy. And I thought, well, all the benefits are fantastic, but we want something to look forward to, and you're actually going to make that time in the morning or at night to use that dry brush. So our dry brush is ionic charged copper bristles.
So what does that mean?
So the bristles are very different from your typical dry brush, which is some type of coarse hair, but these ionic charged copper bristles are a lot softer on the skin.
Okay.
But the best part about it is it creates negative ions. So not only when you're dry brushing and you're physically exfoliating all the dead skin, it's creating this more like an energy brush where you become really calm. It creates that circulation effect and you almost have that the energy state whilst you're creating that physical exfoliation on the skin. And it also, you see the dead skin cells literally fly off and create this dust of dead skin, which is very satisfying, but also gross at the same time.
Traumatic the first time you saw it. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what is happening? It's literally this gray dust just flying around my bathroom.
Yeah. You have to do it in the shower, in the bath, just, but you can actually see like how much dead skin is on you. So when that flies off, obviously it's like very satisfying to see, but it's more about that circulation effect and that lymphatic drainage, which we're all about. So not just through our products, but also through our body tools, and really creating that routine of like your full body transformation and really looking after not only the skin of the body, but the lymph as well. So when you have that circulation effect and that extra circulation and the lymphatic drainage, you're depuffed, you're feeling more energized. Everything seems to be like working more because you're getting rid of those toxins that are in your lymph. And the lymph is so fascinating. You don't have to do much to it to stimulate it. It's usually through movement every day or exercise. That's how you can really have that lymph moving around the body. But dry brushing is that other aspect where you can really just get that lymph moving and that blood flow going, and you can really drain those toxins.
So which ones do we start with? Like, I know there's some underarm, right?
Yes.
So tell us.
Yeah. So using the dry brush, super simple. It's really hard to go wrong. So you work from the bottom of your feet up into your heart because everything's pumped through around the heart. So you just brush up in really slow, long movements, creating that a low sort of, I guess, like slow lymph moving effect, because you don't actually have to like dry brush your skin as if you're going to harm yourself or you get red scratchy skin. So just like long movements up, and you'll see the dead skin fly off, but you're also creating that lymph moving at the same time. And then you can just work up from your feet through your legs, stomach, arms, but all towards your heart. So it's really, really simple, but you have that amazing effect afterwards.
Got it. So start from your ankles, go all the way up. Palms as well?
Yes. Yeah.
What about chest and neck? Because I do it, but someone was like, oh my God, you're crazy for doing that.
So you're down towards. So
I'm going the wrong way. I've been going up.
I mean, nothing's going to go wrong. But yeah, if you drain it towards your heart, everything will be drained through that way. And then as time goes on throughout the day, you'll have that depuffing effect, which is that drainage from the lymph actually like moving and circulating through your body.
And do you recommend doing any type of like on the actual lymph, like doing any type of like pumping motion? Like, 'cause I've also watched some tutorials where people do like a pumping under the arm, a pumping like on the groin area.
Yes, so true. You can do that, but with the dry brush, it really just does work throughout the body. So you don't have to pump all those areas. And that's quite specific because there are many different lymph nodes in your body. But if you just want to not go through that whole system and make sure you're doing the right thing, the dry brushing will have the same effect.
And how many times a week do you recommend somebody dry brush?
So it's really up to you. For myself, who's been dry brushing forever, I usually do it every single day. But if you're just new to it, maybe once or a couple times a week. But it is also carving out that time in your routine. And we suggest in the morning as well, because you do create that energy effect and that circulation, and you will have that for the rest of the day, which is such an amazing feeling.
Yeah. And what are the 4 biggest benefits of dry brushing?
So the physical exfoliation of the dead skin, circulation, moving around the body, also with the ion charged copper bristles, you create those negative ions. So you feel really, really calm afterwards. And also for cellulite as well. It's so, so great. And I feel like cellulite, everyone wants to change it, but no one really knows how to change it. But cellulite is really like tight, sticky fascia where the fat is basically pushed through and it creates that dimpling effect. So the only way that you can really break that down is breaking down the fascia. But by moving the lymph over that and dry brushing, it does smooth that area and it does work over time.
Yeah, it completely makes sense. And it's like, duh, I don't know why I didn't like think to do this earlier on. And it really, like, it does work. You have to be consistent like anything else in your life and in your routines. But if you do it, I do it every day as well, you will see a difference over time.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, you'll notice an effect right away. Like your skin will be so much softer and smoother and you will have that depuffing effect. But if you use it every single day, it's going to be that consistent showing of how your body looks and how you feel as well.
Yeah. Now, you said you've been dry brushing your entire life. So for us, I feel like, I mean, I know that the dry brushing technique has been around for forever, but really over the last, like, I would say 7 years is when this wellness craze had started. And that's when we see a lot of people really talking about the dry brush. So you are from New Zealand.
Yes.
Correct. Which I'm sure wellness is on a whole other level. So can you tell us a little bit about how you were brought up and what your connection to wellness has been?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you're born in New Zealand, very far away. I mean, our population in New Zealand is very small. It's about 5 million. So basically Manhattan, when everyone's sleeping at night, is the population of New Zealand. So when you put it in that respect, it's a very small country, but no, very grateful. It's a beautiful country. I mean, we're surrounded by water. We have beaches 10 minutes from where we live, mountains. I mean, I lived on, well, still live on an extinct volcano. So when you think of it that way, for us, it's so normal because it's like Mount, whatever it may be, but for everyone else, they're like, you live on an extinct volcano. So we're very lucky. A lot of mountains, fresh water, beautiful produce, very, very safe country as well. Love New Zealand.
Absolutely no crime.
But it does change. But no, we're very lucky in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
But I guess that wellness really ties in so much with New Zealand, but not only just for our produce and fresh water, but I feel like our sporting as well. And we're all just wanting to do better for ourselves. And I guess we've grown up with that and really have it installed in our system. But for me, I always felt like I was ahead of the curve when learning about wellness. Remember at school, I was like, okay, let's go gluten-free. Let's see if that changes my gut. And everyone's like, what is gluten?
Right.
But I was always wanting to learn more and wanting to do better for myself and feel really good at the same time. And I also had a lot of struggles with endometriosis, and I wasn't really diagnosed until I had my first surgery when I was 23. And you can't have a diagnosis unless it's through a surgery. And I always tried to do a different aspect or go to a nutritionist or go to a naturopath, and nothing would really like solve these problems. So when I had the first surgery, it was like, okay, now I know what it is. What can I do to change that? And what aspects can I do to look after myself that will stop this coming back? And then a couple of years down the line, it started to get really bad and I had to have another surgery. And after that, it was awful. You, again, don't really know what's going to happen until the surgeon goes in and sees what you have there to work with. And yeah, after that second surgery, it was 8 hours long. The surgeon described my pelvis as spaghetti. I had adhesions, I had cysts. It was a total mess. But it was also, I said to myself, like, okay, well, now I know what it is. There's another aspect rather than just biological that must be adding to this, because how come it came back with such a vengeance? So after surgery, I started researching what else I could do to help this endometriosis other than just what was happening biologically in my body. And I think it was on the third page of Google Scholar where endocrine disruptors was mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard that term, but I thought, well, disruptors doesn't sound great. And then your endocrine system is your hormonal system. Dived into that article and they were talking about personal care and how these ingredients, these endocrine disruptors, are often found in our personal care and our home care, cleaning care, whatever it may be. And I thought, oh, well, I've been using the so-called best of the best products forever because I'm beauty junkie, love it. So I took a list of these top 10 toxic ingredients that are commonly found in beauty care, personal care, and what you're cleaning your stove with, and went to my bathroom cabinet and I had, I think, 53 products to go through. I had a lot of products and went through every single ingredients list. And I was only left with 3 products that were deemed like safe and that didn't have these ingredients in them. And I thought to myself, it was such a pit in my stomach. Like, have I been doing this to myself? Have I been causing all this harm to your body? Because endocrine disruptors can basically mimic hormones already within your body. And if you already have too many hormones of whichever it may be, and for me, endometriosis is too much estrogen, I thought, oh my God, I've just been adding layers and layers to the skin of my body, to my beauty care every single day. And it was this dichotomy of I'm using beauty care and personal care to make myself feel better and look better. But at the same time, I'm also harming myself in so many ways. So after that, I thought, okay, I'm too scared to use anything. Like,
going all natural.
Gave everything away to everyone, and I started telling everyone about it, and everyone thought that just can't be right. Like, there can't be products on the market where they include these known carcinogens or endocrine disruptors or ingredients that can cause so much harm. And it's not just from one product, it's that cumulative effect of using so many different products over the years and layering every single day that I just thought, okay, I need to have a clean, fresh start.
Yeah. Do you remember the 10 biggest endocrine disruptors?
There's a couple of them that come straight to mind. So fragrance is like the number one for a non-natural fragrance. So that can just cause a lot of havoc in the body. And there are so many beautiful options now for amazing natural fragrances, but a lot of the non-natural fragrances, that's one of the main ones. So basically the binders in these formulas that have the long-lasting shelf life.
Okay.
And so it was really deciding and through a lot of research, a lot of reading, what these ingredients are and to basically stay away from them. And they've found in so many products that we just walk into a chemist or a beauty store, they're all sitting there. And it was really about pulling those apart and realizing, okay, I'm going to not use this product. I'm not going to use this brand, and come up with your own formulation or come up with your own alternative.
Yeah.
So I would use like the shea butter from the equivalent of Whole Foods.
Okay.
And I didn't really look forward to using that in the morning. It worked. Like it got the job done, but it also, I wasn't excited to use it. And then you have all these like parts of the skin of the body where like pigmentation or keratosis pilaris, where you actually want to use a product that's going to solve that, or you're going to get some sort of results, and you're not going to get that with something that's quite basic. And then at the same time, I had these 5 scars on my pelvis from surgery I couldn't get rid of. And it's the last thing I wanted to look at. I basically bought everything on the market globally for scarring in particular, and nothing would work. So I had these 5 scars to play with, and none of these products were working. They were also full of those known carcinogens and endocrine disruptors and dyes and just fragrances, all the things that you shouldn't be putting on your skin, particularly a scar, which is broken skin. So I started researching what ingredients helped with scarring. And I brought those raw ingredients to the house and started mixing up in my kitchen different concoctions. And I had 5 different scars to experiment with, and soon came up with a formula that completely erased one of the scars. So I started using that on the other scars, and they were completely gone. And I started giving that to friends and family who I thought needed it, or they'd gone into surgery, or something had happened. And they were the ones coming back to me saying, can you get some more? Can you make some more, please? And I sort of thought, okay, well, there's such a need here for a product on the market. We'll do anything possible to help get rid of scars. And it was, quite an organic process creating Tronque from that.
So wait, that's crazy. So you literally were just mixing these different types of ingredients in your kitchen, like in mixing bowls, and then putting them into little plastic
vials.
How did you even know? Like, I mean, obviously there's the internet, there's nothing that you can't find on the internet, but like, what was that like? I mean, did you have were you wearing white lab coat? Like, what were you?
Oh my God, I love it. I know, I've always been into science and cooking, and I feel like that was, and I had such a passion and a need to get rid of these scars, and those products weren't working. And I just sort of had a drive to get rid of these scars. And one of the formulas worked in particular, and obviously worked on that and really created something that completely got rid of the scars, which is amazing. And it was more like a passion project where I think it was the friends and family coming back to me saying, can we get more? From there, I worked with the most amazing biochemists, and they brought in these incredible ingredients, which I could never get my hands on and I had never heard of, but were particularly for scars or particularly for broken skin. And then came up with a really supercharged formula that really does change scars.
So what are some of the hero ingredients in your scar cream?
Yeah, so we work with amazing biochemists. So a lot of our products they have the base of 100% natural, 100% safe, as clean as it possibly comes, but we use these incredible science-backed biotech ingredients, which again are 100% safe, but do have those results, which is what we're all about. Like Tronque is about that safety, but 100% efficacy and results-driven product. So we use a vitamin C, which is tetrahexyl-absorbate. So it's an oil-soluble vitamin C, and it's amazing for sensitive skin, and it doesn't oxidize as well. So once it's on the skin and it absorbs, it converts into L-ascorbic acid, which is like the gold standard for vitamin C. And it's 50 times stronger than your typical vitamin C that you have and does oxidize on the counter. So this is incredible for pigmentation, for collagen production, for elastin production, for basically like rechanging the skin and making it look brighter and more just perfect or back to its original state. We also use a biotech marine algae, which is an amazing ingredient, but it's specifically for broken skin, for damaged skin and skin that has some sort of trauma to it, which is like a scar. So this basically rechanges the skin structure and the cells as well. So it basically just rejuvenates and creates that collagen effect, which is what we want. Broken skin or a scar is really damaged skin, and this is just about like rechanging it and basically creating new collagen production and new cell production. There's also biotech pink algae as well, so very similar to the marine algae, but works on different types of the cell structure. And that's, again, about like rechanging the cell structure and recharging that collagen production, which is what we want, and to create those changes to the skin.
Selfish question. Do you think that it would work on scar tissue, softening scar tissue?
Yes, it does. And it works on old scars and new scars. Older scars obviously just need that little bit more dedication because an old scar is very stagnant and stuck, but you can break that down over time if you just have that dedication and diligence to it.
So take me through, obviously you're cooking things up in your kitchen into where you are at now, which is with this beautiful brand with the most luxurious and gorgeous branding I've ever seen. Like if you ever want to talk about the sexiest brand, like I really think that you have done such an incredible job. So how long does it take for you to get from your kitchen to where you're at now?
A long time. So So I think I went into it with just pure being completely naive, but with this determination at the same time. And I guess not knowing anything to knowing everything now, I probably wouldn't have started it just because I learned along the way. Right. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just figured it out. So I think from that formulation, I found these amazing biochemists, and they will be able to create these incredible formulas, which I may have the idea and exactly what I want, but I'm not a formulator. I'm not a chemist and I'm not a doctor, but I knew what people wanted and we want results. So let's create those incredible products that can show that. So that took years of formulations and trialing and error. And also we wanted clinicals as well, because I thought if I'm going to do this, I want to do it completely right. I want something that's really different. I want something that really works and also shows it works, not outside of just word of mouth or testimonials, but also like that science to show that the product does do exactly what it can say. So that was years of formulations and research and diving into ingredients about what was safe, what was effective, what works together, that effect of the synergisty of the ingredients. So that was probably about 2.5 years of formulation production.
And were you working as well during this time? Or?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it was all on the side, but it was, again, that passion where you find the time and you have the energy for it. You up until 2 a.m. because you don't even realize you're just so deep diving into a topic or an ingredient.
What were you doing at the time?
So I was working for a fine art. So I worked in different galleries. So it was like a 9 to 5, but then after that it was like 5 till
nothing skincare adjacent.
No, it was a completely new field for me. I was always such a beauty junkie and appreciated and loved science, but never worked in the field prior. So we launched with the Scar Concentrate with the firming body butter and the exfoliating refining serum. So the exfoliating refining serum was, again, more like a passion for me because I have keratosis pilaris, and the only thing that can get rid of KP, which is the bumps on the back of your arm,
chicken skin,
is AHAs and BHAs, which is a chemical exfoliant. So that sounds scary. but it's not. It's very gentle. So that's your glycolic acids, your lactic acids, basically all those incredible ingredients that dissolve all your dead skin cells within the pores or within your hair follicles and create that smooth, glowing skin.
So you've taken all the things that us women hate about ourselves and found a remedy for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Scarring, chicken skin, stretch marks, and cellulite.
yeah.
And endocrine disruptors.
Checking off the list.
Wow, I did not realize that. Okay, so now I'm going to start using that serum on the back of my arms. I had no idea that that's what it was for.
Yeah, so I wanted something that basically you use an exfoliating serum at night on your face, but for the skin of your body, no one really thinks about that. But we have all these different elements, whether it's the strawberry skin or keratosis pilaris or body acne or that crepey skin, just things, parts of your body and your skin that you just want that rejuvenation, but you can easily hide with clothes. And I thought, well, we need to have the same philosophy as the skin of our body as we do our face. And particularly with the skin of our body, as it's 85 to 90% of our largest organ. For me, particularly with the endocrine disruptors and what I was covering myself with, I thought, oh my God, like, no, this is a non-negotiable. Maybe for the skin of your face, you can get away with your favorite product that may not be clean, but when it came to the skin of the body, you're absorbing so much. It's such a large surface area. And it's also forgotten. It is a bit of an afterthought where we all look after our skin. We have our 10-step routine or whatever it may be.
Yeah, expensive creams.
Exactly. Ridiculous.
Then we're putting Lubriderm on our body, or like, I'm using like the cheapest for my full body. I mean, not anymore, but I used to just use like whatever was the cheapest. Palm's cocoa butter, like,
So true. You just grab whatever it may be when you're.
And I was never thinking to put a serum or an oil on my body. Like I saw them. I knew that they were like sold in the store. Well, not really a body serum. That I feel like is something that is newer.
So true. Only in the last couple of years where it's become a bit more of a trend. But
right.
It's again, just like the skin of your face where we have pigmentation or there's acne or fine lines, wrinkles, crepey skin. You have the same on the skin of the body. And it's just about like treating it the same way because you can get the same results. You can change all that, but you just need to use the right products and those right ingredients that really can create those results.
Yeah. Well, you use serum on the face. Why would you not use it on the body? Right.
Exactly.
To target all of these things that we're all, we thought that were unchangeable. This will target that. Now let's talk about the firming cream because I love it.
Yay.
It is so, I know I keep saying this, but beautiful. It will look so beautiful on your shelves. I'm not going to lie. But this product works.
It does.
It is I have tried every firming cream, every single brand, in every different price category. None of them work. None of them work. This is the first one that works.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
How, why, tell me.
Well, it's for all those parts of our skin and our body where we thought unchangeable. I'm like, well, why not? Why can't we change this? We just need to use the right ingredients and that synergisticity of those ingredients. So first it was creating that formula and that texture where it was that super luscious feel that is so hydrating, but is not that thick, heavy, over oily feeling on the skin.
That's what I did notice. It dries right away.
Yes.
Which makes me feel better too about like, I feel like when product sticks on the skin, I'm like, I'm wasting it. It's just getting onto whatever I'm wearing. It's
exactly.
This dries within like, I don't know, 90 seconds?
Yes.
Fully absorbed into the skin.
Yeah, it's a thick formula, but once it's moisturized into the skin, it really, really does absorb right away. And you can get changed into your clothes right away because we're all busy. We've all got our lives to live. So it's about having that really thick, juicy formula, but it's those active ingredients inside the formula that really do create those results, which I'm so glad you've seen. So one of the ingredients we use is this New Zealand red algae, which is a rare algae, and it's the most incredible ingredient. So it's a biotech ingredient, and it creates this matrix on the skin where once it covers the skin, it immediately plumps up all your water molecules to the top of the skin. So you get that instant plumping effect where you have that juicy, glowing skin. But our clinical trials showed that once you use it for 30 days, you are consistent with it, your skin structure does change and it does start to stay that way, which is when you start really seeing those results of not just using the product, but when you're using it over time, like, oh, I didn't just use it once, I used it multiple times. This is when the skin structure starts to change.
So at first it's kind of like using a lip plumper. But then it's like that lip plumper turns into filler over time.
100%. 100%.
I like that. I wish that worked for lips. That's incredible.
There's also some biotech ceramides in here. So that really, really moisturizing hydration to the skin where it's not just hydrated when you're using it, but it's plumping up those skin cells and creating that hydration within the skin molecule and those creating that collagen, creating that elastin where it's not just hydrated, but you're really changing that skin structure. There's also an amazing red maple bark extract, which has been biomechanically proven to create that like glow to the skin where your skin is brighter. It works on pigmentation. It works on restructuring those skin cells where it's all about like hydration and healthy, beautiful skin. So all those ingredients together, they really do work over time to firm the skin and to create that change in the skin structure. And there's also a lot of beautiful botanical and mineral ingredients in there, but it's all about those active ingredients and how they really work together.
And now I'm hearing it in a lot of the ingredients, it's red this and red that. Does that have anything to do with the Tronque red that I'm obsessed with? Like, or was this just a color that you felt called to use in your marketing and branding?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I wanted something that we look forward to using in the morning that looks great on the counter, but you're drawn to, because particularly with body care, it is that afterthought. And I wanted something where someone's like looking forward to grabbing every single day. But also red, I felt like was so much love that we could give to our body, because I feel like as a whole, like women, we're really hard on our bodies and we don't really give it that love. But I felt like you could, if you grab that red in the morning, it's like covering yourself with like love. You're putting that love back into the skin of your body, that routine, just that extra time where you can really like connect with yourself.
I love that. I did not know that was the inspiration behind the red. And I think that now that I know that, I love it even more. And it's like when I received your package, I put everything actually in my shower, regardless of whether I use it in the shower or not, just because it is absolutely stunning. And it inspired me also to like throw out all the crap in my shower that like wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
I love that.
So it's just like you've done such a beautiful job with the marketing and the branding. Do you have experience in that? Like, how did you kind of come up with all of these beautiful assets that you have?
Oh, thank you. No, I hadn't had any experience in branding and marketing. So again, it was more learning along the way, but I've always loved fine art and worked in fine art and created and always painted or drawn. And I guess that's been the aspect where I was able to bring in that creativity, because I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with film and photography and different brands. And I just find it so fascinating. But I also wanted something that was really different, because there was no point creating something that had been done before or looked similar to someone else. And particularly with body care, it can be a little bit simple. And I wanted something that wasn't simple at all, but you looked forward to using in the morning.
So when does this become a real business for you?
So I launched it about 2.5 years ago and in New Zealand, and very much kept it within proof of concept within New Zealand, Australia, before launching into the US. And I realized it right away, like, wow, it was so well received, and I was so appreciative and honored. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I should put all my energy into this and full time. And it was almost full time right away, which was amazing, but also a lot of learning along the way and a lot of trial and error. But I mean, from that's where you grow and you make those change and you figure out right away. And anything like that, like I love to learn from, rather than taking it as a negative. Like I take something that may not be great, and how can we change it into a positive, or what is this teaching me, and what am I learning from this? So learned very fast.
What do you think was the biggest challenge in your first 2.5 years?
Oh, so much. I don't even know where to start, but it was...
Just give us one. Give us one like mass casualty.
I guess just that naivety where, particularly launching to the US, I thought, okay, well, this will be super simple. Was able to launch with incredible retailers, but I basically said yes before figuring out how I've got to figure that out logistically, because those incredible retailers, there's a lot of logistics and a lot of energy and needs that you have to provide to create change and to actually sell really, really well in those retailers. So I think just saying yes before figuring out how to actually make it happen. But also that's a positive. Like I tell that to a lot of people, like just say yes and figure it out.
Right.
So that would probably be the biggest one, is like the logistics of everything, rather than taking my time to actually.
But you figured it out, right? I figured
it out.
What retailers here in the US can everybody find your products? Obviously, we can find everything on the website, and you'll use Oysta 20 at checkout. But where can they find it if they're in the stores?
So we're stocked at Blue Mercury.
Amazing.
Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue. We're at Bergdorf Goodman. We're at the Well. We're at a lot of smaller spas and wellness centers, but those are our key partners in the US.
I mean, those are the biggest ones though. Like, how did you manage to get yourself into, you said Bergdorf's and Saks, did you say?
Yes.
How did you manage to get Saks? And, you only had the company 2.5 years, just launched in the US. That's incredible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Again, it was just figuring it out. This is what I wanted. That was the goal. And then how we're going to make this happen. But I first launched with Neiman Marcus, and I think their tick of approval was a way for us to launch with other retailers. So yeah, I'm very grateful that Neiman Marcus said yes to us, particularly being such a small new brand from New Zealand and being a body care brand. I mean, that's different. It's very niche, but I think that they've believed in the brand so much and obviously love the product, and they're not going to stock a product that doesn't work and they don't believe in. So yeah, very, very grateful for that.
That's incredible. And do you have like big dreams for Sephora or Ulta or anything like that?
Yes, that would be amazing. That's definitely down the line. We're obviously still an independent, small brand at the moment, but I mean, that is the dream. That is the goal, to head down that avenue.
I think that you could do it.
Oh, thank you.
What you've been able to accomplish in 2.5 years is really incredible.
Oh, thank you.
And now, will you be focusing on the US primarily now, or are you still are you trying to move into Europe, or what's the plan for global takeover?
I love it. Love it. So definitely focusing on the US. This is our biggest market at the moment. And I'm here to just really cultivate those relationships and create that marketing, get the brand out there and the word out there. And it's hard, particularly coming from another country and not knowing all the people and your connections, everything, but everyone's been amazing. So grateful for our partnerships with our retailers. And it's just about the growth at the moment that really focusing on. So yeah, focusing on US market. We do have a couple launches in Europe next year, which will be more organic launches, and they're incredible partners, but yeah, definitely focusing on US at the moment. And obviously Australia and New Zealand are our bread and butter. That's our homegrown and love them. But yeah, focusing on the US at the moment.
And now so many beauty brands and skincare brands, body care brands, they are really founder focused, right?
Yes.
So how do you feel about that? And do you feel the added pressure to show up online? And how are you managing all of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I guess the brand really was created through that passion and I guess my focus.
Your story too.
The story. But I'm not someone to stand in front of the camera and to be that influencer for the brand. But I do know I need to do that and I need to step in and lean into that. But that's my growing, what I need to focus on. The brand is called Tronque because it means your trunk, the core of your body. And I didn't want it to be named after myself because I just wanted something that was a bit more universal, that someone can connect with the brand rather than just a person, even though the brand is founder focused. But that's definitely something I need to lean into, is being more in front of the camera and explain everything. And we are a lot about education, because not only through our ingredients, but also really the philosophy of the brand as well and what we stand for.
Yeah. And I think there's so much mystery behind, because I remember for years I'd heard about dry brushing and I just didn't want to add another thing. And I was oh, it's got to be complicated. I'm sure it's this 20-step process that I'm not going to want to do. And then when I received this from you, it was the first time that I used it, and it really was so simple to use. So I think that if there is just more information via, either your platform individually or the brand's platform, I think we all need to see that as consumers. Now, what I want to talk about is my new favorite product, which is right here, which is the body contour. I'm obsessed. It is so gorgeous, by the way, guys. This is the most beautiful, sexy, I don't know, looks like sex toy. So I would love to learn exactly how to use the body gua sha, because I'm just kind of going willy-nilly on the back of my legs and on my stomach. And I'm also not using any type of lubrication. So I'm probably doing that wrong. So please tell me, how am I supposed to be using this beautiful body gua sha?
Yes. So this is our body contour massager. It's a body gua sha. Just as we've had a gua sha for the face, this is for the body, specifically for the body, but you can also use it on your face. So it's stainless steel. It's a little bit weighty, but it's that perfect weight for creating that lymphatic drainage on the skin of your body. And it's not going to cause any harm as well. So not too heavy, but it's also very chic. We've had a lot of customers just use it and leave it on their coffee table or on top of their books. And it's a good talking point as well. So with the handle, it's very simple to use. You want some sort of glide on the skin of your body. There's a couple different ways you can use it, but if you have, whether it's the vitamin C body oil or the foaming butter or the exfoliating serum, some type of glide on the skin, you're going to get that really nice motion and creating that lymphatic drainage. So again, starting at your feet and just using those long upward motions and really using the weight of the tool, not putting too much pressure. But as soon as you use those motions, you're creating that lymphatic drainage just as it happens. And you're also depuffing your skin and creating those softer muscles, because whether it's tight from the gym or walking around all day, it all works together.
You do that with the side that looks like the moon.
Yes, I love that. Or you could use the other side. It can mold within different areas of your body, whether it's like under your knees, that just really shapes the body. But it's very hard to go wrong, and you can use it sort of any way you like, and up your arms towards your heart. So as long as you're moving it towards your heart, you're creating that lymphatic drainage effect. There's also a trigger point as well, which you can use whether on tight muscles in here, or I use it particularly in my jaw because I'm always stressed and I clench my jaw and I need to get something in there to really just work on those masseter muscles.
So where do you do that? You put it
like right in the corner in here, like really tight muscle in there. And then you just massage it in.
That feels good even just doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Or whether on your legs or a trigger point at all. Like I broke my elbow last year and all the muscles down here are still so tight. So I just use this when I'm on top of clothes as well. I actually do that a lot. Or if I'm on Zooms all day, I'll just get into my quad muscles or into my arms, and you can use it on clothing, and there's so many different ways you can use this.
So do you recommend using the cream and the oil first and then doing the gua sha?
Yes. So if you're using it on your bare skin, it needs some sort of glide and grip. So whether it is the vitamin C body oil or the foaming butter, that will just allow that grip and you can easily glide it through the skin.
Got it.
Or if you're using it on top of clothes, then it's not going to have the biggest effect that as you would on your bare skin to create that lymphatic drainage. But you can still use it easily just because of the stainless steel, and it will glide over. And that's more for getting rid of the tighter muscles.
See, and I was like thinking, I don't want to waste the product, because I was thinking the product would get all over that. But now that I'm thinking about it, probably actually allows the product to go deeper into your skin.
100%. It absorbs so much more just because you're that extra massage of the product, and it will absorb right in. And then once you're finished with the contour massager, all the product will be really, really absorbed into the skin.
So give me your Tronque routine from start to finish.
Okay. Well, I practice what I preach. So I do have the time in the morning to really care about the skin of the body. So my typical morning is starting with the dry brush. So about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time I have before a shower. Exfoliating, creating that lymphatic drainage, circulation effect, negative ions. That would be my exfoliation routine. Hop in the shower, come out of the shower, and then I use different products on different parts of my skin.
Okay, tell me. I'm excited.
So I guess I have 2 routines, but my first routine is exfoliating serum on my arms for keratosis pilaris, keeps that at bay, super, super soft. I also use it on my legs sometimes as like a primer for other products. And then usually the foaming butter all over, or I'll do a scoop of the foaming butter with a couple of drops of the vitamin C body oil all over. That works really, really well, and also saves some time if you combine those 2 products together. But your skin is ultra moisturized. Like, that over time and during that day, like there is so many benefits that's happening to the skin of the body where you're just getting on with your day, but there's so much happening underneath. And then I guess at night, I use the scar concentrate on my face. So it's such a repairing, moisturizing product. And we always say if it can remove scars, like it's going to work on wrinkles as well.
Oh, I've been sleeping on the scar cream. I've just been, because I'm like, I don't have any scars. I was going to start using it on my scar tissue for my botched nose job. But okay, so where do you use it and how?
I use it all over the face, just as you would like a nightly oil. And I use it straight on the skin, so nothing underneath. And it's so moisturizing, but it's repairing at the same time. Like it works so over time on whether it's any type of acne scarring or wrinkles or pigmentation. It really just covers such a wide range of elements to the skin.
Oh, I love that. Okay, amazing. So don't sleep on the scar cream, guys. I had that just sitting around doing nothing.
I know my mom was actually the one who said, I've got some pigmentation here, I'll use it. And then she just started using it all over. And I'd see her in the morning and like her skin was glowing. I'm like, what have you been using? She's like, your scar concentrate. And so ever since then, I've been using it for about 1.5 years on my face. And I feel like it's changed so much, the skin. And it's like firmer and pigmentation's gone, no wrinkles. Like, it's a sleeper part of the product where no one really knows about it, but we market to the body, but you can 100% use it on the face.
Yeah,
scalp concentrate.
You need to talk about that more. You definitely need to talk about that more. I love that. And what are we working on now? Like you have how many SKUs? 6 or 7 SKUs?
So we have 5 treatment products and 2 body tools. Okay. And so we launched our natural deodorant about 2 months ago, and that's going really, really well for us.
What made you want to get into the natural deodorant game?
Yeah. So, we are obviously a body care brand. So it was about what can we do for the body? But I think it really tied into those endocrine disruptors and known carcinogens. And ever since learning about those products, I started using a natural deodorant. And again, natural deodorants, they either work or they don't. And most of the time they don't, just because you have to formulate in such strict ingredients. And it also works on the chemistry of your body. Like for one, a deodorant may work, for someone else it won't. And non-natural deodorants.
That's interesting. I actually didn't realize that.
Yeah. So non-natural deodorants usually use aluminium and they're an antiperspirant. So they stop the sweat, which is what we want. But also you do want to sweat a bit because that's how you detox. And that's how, your lymph nodes are right there. So you do want that little bit of sweat, but you don't also want to
stink.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stinky girl. I'm just hesitant to use any of it because I'm just like, I'm going to stink.
I know. It's so true.
I haven't tried it yet.
And I'm too scared as well. 100%. So we wanted to create something that had that effect where you do have a bit of an antiperspirant, but to be 100% natural. So our formula is a demiperspirant. So we use this ingredient that almost is like a Botox mimicking ingredient. So it works on the muscle and it stops the contraction, but not so much where you completely stop sweating. So it's a demiperspirant. So you have a little bit of sweat. It's not going to be bad, but it's more of like health of the underarm area. And then there's also an ingredient for microbial activity and also odor control. So really hitting those 3 aspects of why we use a deodorant. And then there's a lot of nourishing ingredients as well. So it's more like underarm care, and particularly that part of the body, no one really cares about. It's like an afterthought and you just throw on a deodorant and don't think twice. But it's such a area of the body where it's so specific to why we want to care about what we put on under our underarm. And, first thing that people say when, doctors say if you are diagnosed with breast cancer is change your deodorant, because that part of the body is actually considered the breast. And what you're putting in that area, it's absorbed. We want to be really, really careful. So using a natural deodorant was the first thing I changed after I learned about endocrine disruptors, but I wanted something that actually, a reason why we use a non-natural deodorant to stop that sweat, to stop all that odor. So really creating those facets, but having a very chic deodorant as well.
It is incredibly chic, this deodorant, but like it basically like it has a silver roller,
it's
like
a stainless steel rollable. Gorgeous. So you have some lymphatic drainage when you use it, and it's also refillable at the same time. So a very different deodorant, but it's been having the most rave reviews, and I'm so grateful and lucky that people understand the concept and then it actually works for them.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start using it. I know I've been too scared. Like I said, I'm a stinky girl. So I'm like, I don't know if I got to do this on a day where I'm going to be home.
Yeah. And it does take time if you've never used a natural deodorant before, or if you're used to using one for a number of years, for your body to detox, because you have been stopping that sweat for so many years. And you have to have that period where your body's like, oh, I need to get rid of all the gunk, all that toxic.
It's crazy if you think about it, though, that we actually do not allow our armpits to release the toxins that they need to release through. And if I'm thinking of this correctly, that's like going to be our biggest release between there and our feet, right? Don't our feet also like release toxins?
100%. Forehead. I guess that's why so many people go into a sauna, because you're just detoxing so much at the same time. But yeah, that's how the body detoxes, is through sweat.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm so excited for you. And it's just been such an explosive launch here in the US, and it's such a beautiful brand. It's really changed my relationship with my body in a way, which is honestly, what more can you ask for, right? And especially like when you're dealing with some of these things, like I said, you've taken the things that we as women sometimes don't like about ourselves, and you've really focused in on those. So a job well done on such an incredible product. Where can everybody find you? Where can everybody find Tronque on the internet?
Yes, you can find us at tronque.com. So that's tronque.com. You can find us at Blue Mercury, Neiman Marcus, lots of spas and wellness centers around the US, Australia, New Zealand, but we ship globally. And then you can find me on Instagram at Tanne_Snowden.
You might want to spell that.
TANNE_Snowden, SNOWDEN.
I love it. I'm so happy for you. And I just can't wait to see what you do. Are there any launches that are coming up over the next few months that you can talk about before we go?
Yes, sneak peek. So we're launching 3 products next year, all for the body and all very different products, but they really look after such a need. So we've got a product launching in February, which I can't say too much about, but it's a little bit like the foaming butter. It's like a lighter version of the foaming butter, and it's incredible. The clinical trials that we have for this product are next level, and it targets cellulite and lymphatic drainage and also that collagen production. So we're so excited to launch this product. I'll tell you more about it soon, but if you love the foaming butter, you will be obsessed with this product.
Okay, I am so excited. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for sharing how we can use these beautiful products. Tanne has been so generous, and she has offered all of you guys a code to shop all of her products. So if you go on her website, you could check out using Oysta 20. And I love these products. I can't say enough good things. Can't say enough good things about Tanne as well. I think it's so important to just be a good person too at the end of the day. And you really are, and you really care about your formulations and what you're putting out there into the world. So keep it up. I'm so excited for you. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. Such an honor to be with you.
Of course. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.